Hello Internet! I am Torstein from Cinema Terror, and today I will be taking a break from my usual talk about horror movies and rather talk music. Wicked music, that is. Since my previous video on this subject, Top 10 Disturbing Insane Clown Posse songs, did so well views-wise, I figured it was time to make another one. The idea of making a list of my favorite Dark Lotus songs came up due to the drama that has been going around in the world of juggalos for the last year, with the rift between Insane Clown Posse and Twisted becoming so open and even putting a breach between some juggalos who's decided to choose between Insane Clown Posse's Psychopathic Records and Twisted's new Magic Ninja Entertainment label.
Guess who we got with us? We got a double bill, ICP with Twisted. How you guys doing?
Going back and revisiting all Dark Lotus songs was a nice way to reminisce of the times when ICP and Twisted were inseparable, always together and basically came off as brothers to the outside world. Hopefully they will settle their bullshit sometime in the future, and even if they do not get back to the way things were, a more peaceful relationship between them would be nice for the juggalo world. Anyway, for those who do not know much about this stuff, Dark Lotus was a supergroup put together in 1998 and originally only featured Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope from Insane Clown Posse and the prodigies Monoxide Child and Jamie Madrox from Twisted. Their debut was made with the song Echo Side of ICP's 1999 platinum album The Amazing Jekyll Brothers. And just to say so right away, right or wrong, I'm only including songs of the Dark Lotus albums on this list. Later on, it was announced that there will be 2 more members in Dark Lotus, one being Blaze Ya Dead Homie, and the last one being a surprise to everyone as it was a young rapper named Mars. No, not that guy. This guy. Their highly anticipated debut album was called Tales from the Lotus Pod, and it was finally released during the 2001 Gathering of the Juggalos, to much praise from the Juggalo community. Problems with Mars would soon arise, and he was shortly after kicked out of the supergroup. In a strange move from the group, they decided to re-release their album with their new member Anybody Killa rapping his own lyrics over the parts that previously belonged to Mars. Now I personally prefer the original version of the album, so the tracks included on this list will feature Mars and not Anybody Killa. A new album appeared 3 years later called Black Rain, now with Anybody Killa as a full-time member and involved in the project from scratch. That would not last too long though, as he would also leave the group and Psychopathic Records during a 4-year period from that album to the third one, The Opaque Brotherhood, which was completed without a 6th member. They would also continue to only be 5 members on the last album, The Mud, Water, Air and Blood from 2014, although Anybody Killa did show up with a guest verse on the song Villainous. And that's where we are at with Dark Lotus as of 2017. With the rift between ICP and Twisted being so big today, and Twisted not even being on Psychopathic Records anymore, it looks highly unlikely as of today that we will ever get to hear another Dark Lotus project. Although I refuse to lose hope that they will one day reconcile and get together to make a new one. Well, regardless of what happens in the future, let's take a trip down the history of this legendary wicked supergroup with the 10 tracks that I think are the best that they ever produced. And I'm sure that there are plenty out there that will disagree on everything I listed there and call it a shit list, but keep in mind that this is my personal opinion. And with that being said, I hope you enjoy my list of the top 10 songs by Dark Lotus. Alright, here we go. At number 10 we have the first out of 3 songs from the Opaque Brotherhood album. Backwards is a story told in an unusual way. If you want to understand what's going on, then you have to start with the last words and work yourself upwards. Combined with tight verses from all 5 Lotus members, a catchy chorus and a cool beat makes me include this by a hair slide above all the great Lotus tracks. And We Danced is from their very first album, Tales from the Lotus Pod. This is their version of a sex song, with them visiting a dark cemetery to chill and smoke marijuana, when suddenly a group of hot undead ladies show up to, well, dance. What works and sets this song apart is the bizarre beat used for it and the vivid creative descriptions of necrophilia. Violent J especially are having fun with the beat and the way he flows over it. And We Dance is just a fun song for those of us who have a bit of a grotesque humor. As Jamie Madrox himself says on the song, she might be dead, but she got a nice ass. That summarizes the song quite nicely right there. Garden of Evil is the first track if you ignore the intro on their Mud, The Water, Air and Blood album. And what a way to return after 6 years from their previous album. All members give great and advanced verses celebrating the return of the Dark Lotus. Garden of Evil is a great track to ride out to and a good introduction to their newest album and the sound they would use on it. Back we go to the Opaque Brotherhood with number 7, Black Sand. This song captures the mythical Middle Eastern sound that several of the songs tries to capture. The song is basically about the Lotus members watching the end of the world as an incredibly huge black sandstorm is eating up the mother world. All deliver good verses, except if I'm gonna be a bit nitpicky, Shaggy was a bit mediocre compared to the others. I do also have to mention that the chorus by Madrox is straight up haunting. Great track all around. Morbid takes us back to the Mud, Water, Air and Blood album. This Kuma-produced track bumps hard and features dope, grotesque, blood-filled verses from all of them. Shaggy gives his voice a darker sound that makes him nearly unrecognizable here, Blaze flows over the track superbly, and Madrox, goddamn, his verse is wicked. Morbid might not be a deep track, but if you just want a devilish dark track to enjoy, then this one is surely there for you.
Become my daily occupation, which brings us to this situation. Your morbid murder, morbid murder. Dark fucking
Call Upon Your Gods is from their first album, and it is about how criminals and other wrongdoers in life seems to turn to God when they are facing their own bad actions. As Jay himself says in the intro, nobody wants to turn to God until it's too late. Violent J and Jamie Madrox both shine the most on the track, and while I'm not that big fan of what Mars delivers, Call Upon Your God is still a standout of their entire catalog and a very direct song with a harsh and clear meaning.
Call upon your God. Religion has left you. Now the final hour. Cross the final line. Life's an end, but there is no end to time. Everybody's got a reason. Everybody's got a
Keeping up with the theme of what will happen to us in the afterlife, Keep Up is an up-tempo track with one of the best choruses ever. You can easily put your own interpretation to the song as the chorus makes it sound very uplifting and positive, and if that's all you concentrate on, then there you go. Going a bit deeper into the lyrics on the verses, however, will make you realize there are more to the song than what you will get on first listening. At least for me, who obviously doesn't have English as my native language. Out of all the love songs Dark Lotus has made, She Was is my favorite. All of the Lotus members have different stories to tell in only a quick verse each, from Shaggy's love story about his knife, to Blaze's love letter about his gun, to the rest having morbid verses about real girls. Great verses from everyone involved, great chorus, dark beat, and there is just nothing to dislike about this song. And at number 2 we got I Wanna Die off their first album. Both this and the upcoming number 1 spot are as high as they are due to the eerie mood both songs are able to deliver. This is almost a beautiful song in a creepy way about coming to terms with what we are all going to face someday, death. This entire track just feels like Lotus, as it's not a track that I could see on any other type of Psychopathic Records album other than a Dark Lotus one.
I wanna die so I can see the other side. I wanna die so I can fly. I wanna die, take me to the other side. I wanna die so I can fly.
And here we are with my favorite Dark Lotus song with The Walls off the Black Rain album. Just like with I Wanna Die, The Walls has such a perfect mood to it that makes it perfect for the Lotus members to deliver memorable verses over. Everything on this track works perfectly, and all of the artists deliver 100% on this song. This is Dark Lotus at its best, and a well-deserving song to get the number 1 spot of the best songs Dark Lotus has ever done.
Surround me, it's alright. Ain't holding me back. They can't tell me where we at. I remain in control. These walls surround me, it's alright. Ain't holding me back. They can't tell me where we at. I remain in control.
So there you have it, my list of top 10 songs from Dark Lotus. Did you agree with this list? Did you hate the list? Whatever your thoughts may be about it, I'd like to hear your opinion in the comment section below, and which one of the 4 albums are your favorite one from Dark Lotus. Let's try to keep things positive, even though this is YouTube, and celebrate one of the best supergroups that the horrorcore genre will likely ever produce. That's it from me today. If you enjoy horror and exploitation movies, then feel free to check out what I usually do, which are movie reviews. Take care and much clown love.